Vocabulary Story, Week 1, Day 1, Domain and Range. When we first start off in math, there are just numbers. Numbers primarily for counting or quantifying things. Normally, we find ourselves adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing these numbers. This is called basic arithmetic. However, as we grow, in math and life, we develop a need for these numbers to provide us with meaningful information so that we can make our best decisions. For this reason, we begin to group numbers into sets that can quantify the different aspects of our lives. A data set is a category of our living that can be represented by a set of quantitative values, aka numbers. For example, the number of hours you study would be a part of your everyday life that can be represented by a set of numbers. When the various values of a data set are represented by a letter like X or Y, we call the letter a variable. Because the values that X or Y represent can be various amounts. When two data sets are related to each other, we call it a relation. We know that they are related because one data set depends on the other. The data set that controls the other data set is called the independent variable. The data set that is dependent on the other data set is called the dependent variable. The independent variable serves as the input of the relation, whereas the dependent variable serves as the output. When each input of a relation maps to one and only one output, the relation is now defined as a function. Functions give us the ability to safely predict outcomes based on the function's income. The input of a relation is known as the domain and is represented by the letter X. The output of a relation and/or function is known as the range and is represented by the letter Y. The domain represents all possible X values. The range is all possible Y values. Each relation and/or function can be continuous or discrete. A continuous function has values that are continuous or unbroken over the specified domain. Discrete functions have values that are distinct and separate and not connected or continuous. When writing the domain and range of a relation or function, you must know if the function is continuous or discrete because you write continuous domain and range with inequalities. You write discrete domain and range by listing each individual number inside of curly braces, with each number separated by a comma. Today we're going to explore discrete and continuous functions in real-world situations and how to recognize which ones are discrete and which ones are continuous. Also, later this week, we're going to discover linear functions and all of the key features and characteristics that each linear function will possess. Thank you for listening. Peace and love.